So where does he stand in all of this?
Jason, so many good points you have made in a very measured way that we're going to answer in a second, or certainly attempt to. Phil's a big Spurs fan. Phil, good evening. Do you echo what Jason is saying there?
I'll go a little bit than that.
Go on, Phil.
I'm tired of people saying it's family. It's family.
We're just losing his line. We will move on. In fact, here's Stephen who's cropped up. So many Spurs fans, one goes, another pops up. Stephen, good evening. Where do you stand in all of this?
Jim, I spoke to you a week ago with Simon, but I backed up what I said, Jim, but I said to you last time. You've got a owner that they have no interest in the club. It's an asset. You've got Vino Venkateshan, who worked his way up to the top of Arsenal, but he doesn't have an actual experience in football. Then you've got Lange, who has spent £430 million in 2 years, that when you look at it, he's never built a squad that's finished higher than 15th in the table. Spurs, since he's been working at Spurs, are 15th. We are a representation of the management that we've got running the club. I'm annoyed, Jim, because I go to my beautiful stadium, I've seen the training ground, I see good players. But just this, Jim, for example, 14 players injured last season at this point, 14 players injured at this point this season. Why? Because the few good players that you've got are constantly playing. Javi Simmons has been injured, Jim. He's got a bruised ankle. He's got ruptured ligaments, People want to call him out for what he's not doing. The guy's playing injured, Jim. Bergvall got injured the other day. He was already injured because you don't have enough players. We've changed medical teams 3 times in 4 seasons. We've changed manager. We've changed everything, DOF. But the only thing we haven't changed is our owners.
Well, Jim, right. So, Stephen, before you go on, did you expect post-Levy that things would change and that you would have a busy window this time?
Yeah, of course we did, Jim, because before we obviously leave on this conversation, we have now, got £100 million invested from the owners. They've then put a further 50 million of the TV money, Then, you know this, Jim, just for Europa Champions League finishing 4th, people talk about the 45 million that we get from. They don't talk about the extra 50 million in gate receipts. They're sitting on 200 million pounds, Jim. And people know my profile. They're going to know my voice every time I speak on here.
Well, Stephen, I tell you what, you've made so many good points. Go on.
We had a deal for Akalouche, that Monaco people in France have spoken about. Alex knows about this deal, and we haven't done it today because in the summer, his deal expires to 2028, and they say they don't want to pay January prices. Look at Ryan Sherry.
Stephen, take a deep breath. Here's Danny, who is a former player of your club, of course, as well. Did Spurs honestly expect a bold new era post-Levy, Danny? What do you think?
Well, I think there was hope of better. And better, what does better look like is the key. Better looks like more successful recruitment, higher in the wage bill, because Tottenham have the lowest ratio, don't they, to income on terms of wage bills. So being more bold and brave in that area because they've got room to do so.
Yeah.
The only way you really... The other one, just quickly, is the amount of players injured is a concern. Now, if the medical team's changing a lot, something's not right to have that many players injured.
Did you recognise what he was saying there? Could you see what he was saying there about Simmons? Him and Bergvall maybe because he watches play with injury. I find it highly unlikely. But
Simmons has been brilliant the last month.
Yeah,
he doesn't look injured to me. He was brilliant against City at the weekend.
Yeah,
so he's getting better. So that all players play with injuries, Jim. That's part of the course. The reality is they've got enough players when they're all fit. They've got hell. I mean, I could start naming. You've got Kudus, Kulusevski. You've got Richarlison, Solanke, Odebear. You've got who else have they got? Maddison.
Yeah,
Simmons.
Yeah,
they've got top quality international players, right? And they've got enough of them. And that's probably why they're not diving into the market in January, because they've got to get better than what they've got to improve.
Sure.
The only way they get better, yes, spending some money, which they have done in the past, but spending it more wisely and paying more wages, because they will attract bigger name players because of the location and the wonderful facilities they have. You've got to be in a wage bracket to get the best players that they're not in.
Right, I'm with you. One player in, Alex Contatc.
And they need a goalkeeper.
35 million.
And Sousa, the young defender as well, but that probably wasn't a position they necessarily needed to...
Not a lot of business. Is that a reflection
They've spent nothing net this window, have they?
Is that a reflection on the hesitation on the part of the hierarchy to totally back Thomas Frank?
Yeah.
Potentially, because, make no bones about it, there were people before this recent upturn, obviously the two results there in the Champions League and coming from behind against Manchester City, there were members of the hierarchy that were having doubts about Thomas Frank. Hopefully that comeback at the weekend for Thomas Frank can be a turning point. But I think also it's a reflection on Tottenham that they've not got new owners. The same owners that Daniel Levy was working for.
Yeah.
So the promise that this was suddenly going to be a completely different Tottenham, I never bought into it. I knew Simon Jordan didn't either, and it's their first transfer window. It's okay. I think Conor Gallagher is a decent addition, but they've not pulled up any trees in the market, have they? And we'll see what they do in the summer.
Still a lot to get through, of course. Just gone 7:30 this Monday night, and we are live in TalkSport. Transfer deadline day is coming and going for another occasion. We're live on YouTube and your smart TV. We're live in TalkSport as well. Sheffield United have signed Calvin Phillips on loan. Go for it, Calvin. I met you at Leeds many years ago. Lovely guy. I hope we can get some game time behind him now. We're live in TalkSport. Stay with us.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
At Kia, we have an award-winning range of electric cars for you to discover. From the compact SUV, the Kia EV3, and our latest hatchback, the Kia EV4, to our stylish new Kia EV5, the all-electric family SUV. Discover what driving electric really means. And if you order any Kia electric car by March 31st, you'll enjoy your first 2 services free. Search Discover Your Kia EV to book your test drive today. Kia. Movement that inspires. T's and C's apply.
At Lidl, there's always more to value. Like switching from Sainsbury's to Lidl and saving £33 on this week's Big Shop at lidl.co.uk/save. Which means a stocked up fridge of big brands, award-winning own brands, and your fresh 5 a day with extra helpings encouraged. Lidl, more to value. Prices check 26th of the 1st, 26. Sainsbury's also sell other products. See online for more details.
We, the podcast, in order to establish opinion, the inside take,
provide for the common sense, and secure the blessings of our listeners,
do ordain and establish
the state of it, USA.
Join our Washington editor Katie Balls and Times columnist Gerard Baker as they unravel American politics in the state of it, USA. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Evening. How's your night shift going? Just a quick check-in from Acorn Insurance, the taxi specialists. We've been by your side for over 40 years, helping new drivers earn a no-claims bonus from day one and accepting up to 9 years no claims from veteran cabbies. That's why we're the largest taxi insurance specialist in the UK. Find out more at acorninsure.co.uk/taxi. Bye for now. Acorn Insurance and Financial Services Limited is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at SpreadX Sports, you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting, including £30 in free bets when you join and place a qualifying £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. SpreadX Sports. It's in our DNA. 18plusgambleaware.org. Qualifying bets cannot be cashed out early. Once settled, get free £10 fixed odds bets on consecutive days. Free bet stakes not included in any winnings. Free bets must be claimed within 28 days.
It's time for a phoenix to rise from the ashes as England visits Sri Lanka for 3 ODI clashes, followed by another 3 T20 matches where we're hoping for wickets, huge sixes and catches. And there's only one place where you'll hear all the action as TalkSport 2 delivers live comms and reaction. TalkSport 2 is the only place to hear live ball-by-ball commentary of England's white ball tour of Sri Lanka. Hear full coverage of all 3 one-day internationals and 3 T20s ahead of the start of the T20 World Cup in February. Continues with the 3rd T20 match tomorrow afternoon from 1, exclusively on TalkSport 2.
Up front and up to speed. Deadline Day special on TalkSport.
It is transfer deadline day and we're into the evening of it. It's Jim White, it's Alex Crook and it's Danny Murphy. We are live on TalkSport. The deadline, of course, in England at least, was 7 o'clock. We're through that. 11 o'clock up in Scotland. We'll get to that. Celtic have signed Junior Adamu from Freiburg, a forward, 24 years of age. He signed on loan. But Celtic, as we understand it, have said no, not once, not twice, but 3 times to Nottingham Forest today for Arne Engels, the Belgian. The last bid coming in, Alex, am I right? 25 million, and it's a no from Martin O'Neill's Celtic.
Yes, huge money to turn down. 20 million up front plus £5 million in add-ons. We know that Martin O'Neill was desperate to keep Engels. Ultimately, the board have backed their manager and probably appeased their fans who are not happy with the way the club is being run in the process. Maybe one of the reasons it didn't seem such an attractive deal to Celtic, because £25 million is a huge amount of money to a club in Scotland. They have a sell-on to his former employers at Augsburg, so they would have lost some of that fee. So maybe that is one of the reasons, or maybe ultimately Martin O'Neill has just got his way.
And the story, if you like, Alex, with the twist in the tail tonight, obviously centres around Crystal Palace, because Strand Larsen has joined, or is joining, from Wolves, 48 million quid. Jean-Philippe Mateta had left, but is on his way back tonight.
Yes, the tale of two strikers, really. That Strand Larsen deal was announced bang on 7 o'clock, £43 million plus 5 in add-ons. Obviously, that's the second time this window they've broken their transfer record. Brennan Johnson coming in for £35 million from Tottenham, and they've got a deal sheet in for Dwight McNeil. Again, I think it was a difficult start to the window. They knew they were going to lose Mark Gay. Obviously, he went to Manchester City. Then Oliver Glasner threw his toys firmly out the pram, and you wondered how this window would end for Crystal Palace. But ultimately, I think they've signed 3 Premier League proven players. They believe they've got the firepower now to get themselves away from any lingering threat of relegation danger. And they have kept Jean-Philippe Mateta. How much he's going to play, we don't know yet. But ultimately, it's competition, isn't it? Strand Larsen, Mateta and Eddie Nketiah.
Too late now, Danny, but are you still somewhat frustrated that Mark Gahey's not in a Liverpool shirt? Jeremy Jackie will be in a Liverpool shirt, but not until the summer. But Gahey now, we know, of course, joined Manchester City.
I think you have to be frustrated because he's such a classy footballer and ready-made. There's no risk. And you're getting him for peanuts. I know City have paid him a fortune, but Liverpool was so close to getting him. Yeah, it's leaves a bit of taste, that one.
Yeah. Would it have been a better career move, do you think, Alex, to go to Liverpool than City? Or has he done the right thing, taking City?
If you win things at Liverpool, you're remembered forever. And that's partly, with City not so much, because they're winning so often.
Is he a guaranteed starter right now ahead of Van Dijk and Contatc? I know Konate's not had a brilliant season. He's a guaranteed starter at City.
I think irrelevant, really, because starting next season he would be.
It's a World Cup year.
Well, he's going to play, isn't he? Because even Konate's just been out for a couple of weeks. Van Dijk, you could rest him more for the big, there's lots of what you could play with a 3. He just gives you so many options. He's such a classy player.
Well, Gahey's a City player, and that is that. In the meantime, as if transfer deadline day wasn't enough, it's time for this.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
It is 20 to 8 this Monday night. Ladbrokes' Nicola McGeady joins us live. And Nicola, in about 20 minutes from now, kick-off, of course, up in the northeast. Sunderland at Burnley in the Premier League. It's live in TalkSport 2. What are you thinking?
Yeah, good evening, Jim. Lovely to chat to you. I mean, a lot of people would have had Sunderland down as relegation candidates before a ball was kicked this season, but they've been fantastic and they're strong favourites to defeat Burnley at the Stadium of Light, especially with their unbeaten home record this season. They are the only team to be unbeaten at home this season. It is a fortress and punters only see a home win, which is priced at 4 to 5. The form book for Burnley doesn't instill much confidence. They're literally 1 to 33 for relegation. You know, they haven't won a game in 14 league matches. They've lost 7 of the last 10 away games. So an upset on the cards is in there at 17 to 5. There will be punters willing to give Burnley a chance of getting something from this. Obviously, after recent draws with Spurs and Liverpool, the draw is priced at 5 to 2. But, you know, given both sides' low-scoring averages, we're not going to expect a goal fest here. Under 2.5 goals is priced at 8 to 11.
Okay, Nicola. Danny, what do you think? The punters, Nicola's saying, go with Sunderland tonight. Do you?
Yep. Hard not to.
Yeah.
Such a wonderful home record and those fans behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if if Burnley get a draw, they've done well.
Okay, Sunderland Burnley live on TalkSport 2. Nicola, Premier League outright betting. Where are we tonight? I mean, has it changed after the weekend?
Yeah, well, obviously Arsenal cement their position further at the head of the betting. They moved 6 points clear, beating Leeds 4-0. So City and Villa dropped points, and so it's good news for Arsenal fans. They're now moving in and shortening up all the time for the title. I think they're around maybe 4 to 9 right now, but City, they're out to 9 to 2. They remain their only real rivals. it looks like a 2-horse race, but very much in Arsenal's favour right now. The next best are Villa at 33-1. But the race for the final Champions League spot really tightened as well over the weekend, with Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea. Man United's surge under Carrick probably being, the most exciting to watch, because, they've won their third straight game. They've passed Chelsea and Liverpool into the 4th place, and now they're even money. Liverpool still ahead in the betting for the 4th spot at 8-11, with Chelsea 7-5 for that top 4 spot.
Okay, Nicola, let's look ahead to tomorrow's Carabao Cup clash. Of course, it's the semi-final second leg. Arsenal against Chelsea. And it's live in TalkSport. Arsenal won the first one 3-2. Where are you going with this?
They did. It should be a very entertaining game at the Emirates, because it's not over yet. Chelsea showed such spirit to keep it close in the first leg, and again at the weekend when they came back from 2-0 down against West Ham. So, Arsenal, they're obviously the favourites. They're league leaders, unbeaten in their last 9 games against Chelsea, and that stat will definitely be on Chelsea's mind. So, yeah, Arsenal strong favourites at 4-6 here in 90 minutes. They're as short as 1-12 to make it to Wembley, with Chelsea 11-2 to qualify and 18-5 in 90 minutes. I don't think a draw would be the worst shout, priced at 3-1. Arsenal, I think it'll be a draw on Arsenal in half-time, full-time market at 18-5. I think it's going to be close enough. But you never know, Jim. We might get to see extra time or even penalties. We'll see, but it should be an interesting game.
Nicola, we've got to finish with this. We'll be picking our Ladisfaction moment of the weekend. So what was yours from the weekend, Nicola?
Well, it's got to be Man United's 3-2 win over Fulham. That dramatic 94th minute winner. Just obviously it was very exciting. It was a real chaotic end altogether, with Fulham obviously equalising in stoppage time before that late strike. So I'm sure you've gathered I'm a Man United fan at this point. But yeah, that made it all the more interesting now for the top 4 spot, and that was my favourite moment of the weekend.
Nicola, thank you so much. That's Ladisfaction. We'll be picking our very own Ladisfaction magic moments of the weekend later on in the show. And it's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, gambleaware.org.
Odds update on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Alice Crook and Danny Murphy alongside me, Jim White, on this transfer deadline day. We're picking over the bones of what happened as we built up to the 7 o'clock deadline. Thereafter, we're looking at who went where and why. But let me tell you, this Monday night, we are having an enormous number of calls from Tottenham Hotspur fans, and I'll put it out there again. Tottenham Hotspur, post-Daniel Levy, is it a bold new era, or is it the same old, same old? How all in have they gone for Thomas Frank in this window? We're going to check out some of the numbers in all of that next, and you don't want to miss this.
Kick off on Talk Sport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper. Yorkshire tea, where everything is done proper.
Maybe not.
Yorkshire tea, where everything's done properly. Yorkshire tea.
Right, enough of that. How about Yorkshire tea, where everything's done proper?
Because you bought your robot vacuum on your Barclay card, you got 0% interest for up to 24 months, which makes watching it, hypnotically sweeping up your crumbs, even more satisfying. Oh, Mr. Bit, what you buy is your business. Helping you pay less interest is ours. Barclay card. Make money work for you. Subject to financial status. New customers only. Representative example, 24.9% APR representative variable, 24.9% purchase rate per annum based on £1,200 credit limit. T's and C's apply.
Buzzing for the game this week. I want to hear what my mates are saying. I want to tell them they're delusional. I want to tell them who'll score first. I want to call the half-time score and the full-time score. And when our kid pipes up and says, want to bet? I'll stop. Think about it. Check my limits. Check how much I've played. And maybe I'll think, nah, not today, mate. Sometimes the best bet is the one you don't make. Gamble responsibly. Betfred. 18+ gambleaware.org.
The countdown has begun. The adrenaline is pumping.
The excitement is electric because this is more than just a game. It's Super Bowl 60, and it's a night where anything can happen. Hear full end-zone to end-zone commentary of Super Bowl 60 live from Santa Clara, California, this Sunday night on TalkSport with 5. Watch the Super Bowl for free on 5 from 10:30 p.m.
Jim White and Alex Crook. Deadline Day special on TalkSport.
Good evening, everybody. So much to get through tonight. It's Jim White, it's Alex Crook, and it's Danny Murphy. And of course, it's been transfer deadline day. We came through the deadline 7 o'clock, and now we're picking over the bones of who's done what and why. And in Scotland, a bit to go yet. 11 o'clock up there. Now, Nottingham Forest have teased and tempted Celtic into selling Arne Engels today. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The latest bid was 25 million quid. If I know Martin O'Neill, he'll be tying Arne Engels to a goalpost at the training ground. He ain't going anywhere. That's at the moment. Is that likely to change? Well, we shall head north very shortly. But I'm delighted to say here in studio on the 17th floor of the News Building at London Bridge, 3 has become 4 because our financial expert who stops in every now and again with Simon and myself, Stefan Borson, has stopped by tonight just when we need him. Stefan, good evening. You were listening on the way in. It probably sounds busier than it actually has been, but there's still been plenty of activity out there, hasn't there?
Yeah, I think what you've got is a combination of teams that are in need of deals because of, they look at the season and go, we've still got opportunities. Teams like Villa in particular, Crystal Palace, these teams got big opportunities in the remaining of the season from a financial perspective. And in some ways, it's risk-free. If you're Aston Villa, they've got a lot of problems with the PSR situation and the UEFA situation, but the prize is enormous. They're clearly on course for Champions League. They've got the Europa where you would expect them to get semi-final at least, probably final. All of these things are going to generate substantial revenues for them between now and the end of the season. Yeah. Similarly with Crystal Palace, who are looking presumably at the conference and thinking they can qualify for the UEFA if they can win that trophy. So there's some logic around there. And then at the bottom end, I think most people probably feel as though they're safe, aside from those that are really close to West Ham and therefore reluctant to spend.
We have to do this in a night like this. Stefan, I'm jumping out. Alex, what are you thinking?
Well, this is not necessarily transfer related, but it kind of is. I've just been sent an Instagram post from one Christian Romero. Now, of course, he went off at half-time yesterday as Tottenham came from behind 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Manchester City. Thomas Frank told me afterwards that his captain was suffering from illness. Listen to this from Christian Romero. Great effort from all my teammates yesterday. They were incredible. I wanted to be available to help them, even though I wasn't feeling well, especially since we only had 11 players available. Listen to this line. Only had 11 players available. Unbelievable, but true and disgraceful, says Christian Romero.
Unbelievable, true, but disgraceful. 11 players available, Danny.
Well, what's he talking? I mean,
we'll keep showing up and taking responsibility to turn this around, working hard and staying together. All that's left is to thank all of you fans for being there and always supporting us. That's a pop at the hierarchy, isn't it?
It sounds like, he didn't only have 11, did he? Because some of the subs come on and did well. Sarr come on and did well. Tell come on and did well. Yeah. So he didn't just have 11. What are you going on about?
Yeah. And it's not the first time that Romero's done something like this.
Because that sounds disrespectful to the lads who were sat on the bench.
Yeah.
The reality is, what was the word he used regarding disgraceful?
Disgraceful, the fact they only had 11 players in his words available.
That sounds like a dig at the medical team.
Mm. Oh, well, of late...
Either way, it suggests all is not a happy camp at Tottenham.
Oh, exactly, Alex. Of late, Romero has put the C in cryptic and he's done it again. We'll see where that takes us. Stefan, since Alex has taken us on to Tottenham Hotspur, many Tottenham fans phoning in tonight. So, even though it's going to be a bit Tottenham Hotspur-centric, we'll stay with it. Spurs' £35 million purchase of Conor Gallagher took their transfer spending to $1 billion since the sacking of Mauricio Pochettino in November 2019, Stefan. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, Mr. Borson. The deal for Gallagher, who's joined up from Atletico, adds to a transfer outlay that is more than North London rivals Arsenal have spent under Mikel Arteta in that time.
Can I just say, though, people use these figures.
Yeah.
They never say net.
No.
It's so relevant. If you've spent $1 billion compared to 100 million net,
right?
It doesn't. Okay, you might have spent the $1 billion poorly or well.
Yeah.
Surely that's relevant.
And I know Arne Slot gets frustrated at Liverpool that their summer spending is used as a bit of a stick to beat him with, not accounting for the fact they didn't spend for the previous couple of windows and they were good sellers in the summer.
So what we'll do is this: there are quite a number of Spurs fans calling in. Because you're here, Stefan, we'll get them to join us while you're with us. But is this a bold new era?
Well, it's not yet. I mean, clearly that they had the opportunity in this window to show that there was a new regime in town. Obviously, the ownership hasn't changed, but I do expect them to spend more going forward. But clearly, almost nothing has happened in this window, and I think it is surprising. And I don't think disgraceful is the medical staff. I have to say, I think
it's the board.
I think it's the board. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would use the word disgraceful about the medical staff. Somehow
disgraceful towards the board though, because
he's just saying the squad's too thin. The squad is big, but they've got lots and lots of injuries. We know what the side looked like yesterday, despite the results at the end of the day, and they've chosen not to spend big in this window. And I think it is surprising when you look at a couple of things. First of all, this season is going to really upset Spurs fans when they see the results. It's going to be a year. We're going to have to wait until the end of the season, but they are going to make an enormous profit this season because they've got a relatively low wage bill. They're going to go deep in the Champions League. We know that already. Their round of 16 game is a very winnable game. They could very easily get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Just winning the round of 16 is £11.5 million. So they're gonna have an incredible financial season this season, and it's gonna sit alongside disappointment in terms of the league position, and it's gonna send the fans into probably quite a lot of emotional response to it, and they're going to be thinking disgraceful. So it is a surprise. I think spending $1 billion is fine. It is a lot of money. They've not spent it particularly well, but I think the net position is also important. And they have sold. They've sold even in this window. Their net position in this window is obviously zero.
What about Newcastle, Stefan, as well? Because there's a lot of Newcastle fans who are getting in touch saying it's absolutely appalling that we've not signed a single player in this window.
Yeah, I think it's a major surprise. It's a completely different topic. I can see Jim wants to keep on Spurs, but
we'll stay on Spurs for the moment because Jim's a Spurs fan who's been waiting patiently. You've got a ton of money, but you're just not spending it, Jim. That seems to be the message tonight, mate.
It does, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Letting me on?
Now, listen, Danny's with me and so too is Alex, but crucially, Stefan is here. On all things finance, Stefan cannot be matched. So if you've got a financial related point, make it to Stefan and do it now. What do you want to say?
Okay, financial, I would say, as you just pointed out, we spend a lot of money. It's the recruitment, is how we've spent that money. It's where's the replacement for not so many years ago we had Son, Kane and Bale up front. Now I'm not knocking the young lads like Odegaard and Tell. They are not the finished products. We know that. All across the park we've got Bergvall, got Gray. Again, we've done it this window. We've signed an 18-year-old on deadline day, having loaned out Dane Scarlett, who's 21.
Yeah.
This isn't about, if money isn't the motive, try convince me that this Arsenal bloke isn't trying to take us to the Championship.
I don't think so. Do you want to break it down for the likes of Jim as to where Tottenham actually are at the moment, Stefan? You're saying the news is good. Longer term, the news is going to be very good financially.
Well,
PSR, plenty of headroom there.
Yeah. Look, it's a continuation of the Daniel Levy era in terms of the underlying financials. They're very strong. We obviously know that they've got a stadium that generates now about 150 million quid. And they're going to do, I would think this season, they'll do £600 million, which is a lot against the cost base. Their wage bill is one of the lowest. It's around about 225 million quid.
What percentage is that? We've done this before.
Well,
the lowest, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, last season in the Money League it was 42%, which
42,
but it's just, but it's too low compared to the peer group. If you look at what City are running at, what Liverpool are running at, run rate, almost not far off double.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. So to try and compete and also then to go into the Champions League and to go deep in the Champions League with the number of games that brings, clearly they've got some issues with the size of the wage bill, and the squad size is probably different given they've got so many injuries.
Right.
But I would expect them I think this window has actually just been about not being able to get their targets, it being quite a slow window generally, if you look at it.
Yeah.
They did want Semenyo, of course. He chose to go to City. And so I think, I do expect, if you're going to get rid of Daniel Levy, you're going to have problems with the way that he spends money.
Right.
That can only be that he's too conservative.
But I think Spurs fans would counter that. And we reported quite early that of all the clubs that were in for Anton Semenyo, the one club he wasn't interested in joining was Tottenham. Now, they were willing to spend £60 million on Antoine Semenyo. They knew right at the start of the window that wasn't going to happen. Why didn't they reinvest that elsewhere?
Well, is that the kind of thing, Darren, Tottenham fan, that frustrates you? The likes of Semenyo had a look at Tottenham, thought, nah, I'm going to go to City. Is that the kind of thing that frustrates you, Darren?
Well, if you give me 2 minutes, I can explain to you.
I can give you one.
Give me 1 minute. So the Tottenham's problem is 12 years in the making, because Tottenham got players like Luka Modric, Dele Alli, we had Harry Kane. We've had players on the cheap for years. We've never paid the wages. It's very, very simple in football now. Tottenham can spend 50 million quid on a player, so can Burnley, so can Bournemouth, yeah? If you don't pay the wages, you don't pay the top players. Jim, you and I know Spurs could have had David Raya from Brentford. They wouldn't pay the wages. They missed out on Jack Grealish. They wouldn't pay the wages. We are no longer a football club. We are a business with a football club attached to it. It's toxic at the moment at Tottenham between the fans, the players and the board. And we got lucky with Pochettino. We got to the Champions League. That was our time to step up and spend. I can't use the word. We wasted the Gareth Bale money. Liverpool went out, decided they need a centre-half and a goalkeeper.
Right.
They bought Alisson, they bought Van Dijk, and we buy average players because there is no one at the football club who knows football. And the worst person Spurs got rid of, Jim, is a friend of yours and mine, Paul Barber.
Oh, Paul Barber. Excellent. Darren, Paul Barber is a man who's known well to Stefan. Briefly, 30 seconds, Stefan, before we hit the bulletin at 8, can you address the points that Darren made? I mean, every football club's a business, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's slightly overplayed. I mean, they're not one of the lowest payers in Europe. They've been very prudently run. So they've been run, I think, too much for prudence, profit, and the development of the infrastructure. They need to now release a bit of that tightness.
Welcome to our audio commentary coverage. This broadcast is not an official product of this competition.
Championship contenders Burnley may have accepted a point against Tottenham Hotspur before kick-off, but their 2-2 stalemate was undoubtedly a case of 2 points dropped for Scott Parker's side. Trailing 2-1 with injury time looming, Spurs, who attack was stunted by the Clarets rearguard, once again had to rely on centre-back Christian Romero to bail them out of trouble as the World Cup winner headed in a 90th minute leveller. Owing to a 14th straight Premier League game without victory, 19th place Burnley could not move up or down the rankings in game week 24, but the green shoots of recovery have slowly been blooming, even if the green ticks of victories have not. So Parker's side are now unbeaten in 4 games in all tournaments, drawing each of their last 3 in the Premier League and playing out 5 stalemates from their last 7 after previously losing 7 on the spin from November the 1st to December the 13th. So we are underway in this game now. Here at the Stadium at Light, Sunderland in their traditional red and white stripes with black shorts and red socks, whilst Burnley are in an all sky blue away kit. So a big game at both ends of the division. Sunderland looking to push on towards European places, whilst Burnley are looking to survive to have another season in the Premier League. 2 pretty direct sides. Labruzzi's team have been absolutely excellent at home this season, and he will be hoping for more of the same. So Sunderland with it. It's Ballard going out to the right side. He will send it out to Nordi Mukiele. It's Mukiele on it. Mukiele coming forward with it. Give it to Ronaldo. To Talby. Talby will come inside towards Enzo Lefebvre for Sunderland. He'll move it out to the right side, finding Nordi Mukiele. He'll send an early delivery in. It's not a convincing clearance by Bashir Humphreys, but Burnley are able to move it away, and then eventually it comes into Lyle Foster, who uses his arm to control the ball. So it just bounced through there, and say he did use his arm as it bounced into him. It's a pretty obvious handball from Lyle Foster, the South African striker. Scored 3 goals this season. So it's going to be a free kick here for Sunderland. We'll bring you up to date with the teams when we get the opportunity to do so. It is Tri Hume and Enzo Lefebvre who have stood over the free kick here as we're awaiting a delivery to come in. Burnley just trying to sort out their defensive line, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. It will be delivered in, but as we could, Chukwu will block it off, and Burnley are able to clear it. Only to Ronaldo. Ronaldo out to Lefebvre. Lefebvre on the left flank. Edwards is closest to him, but someone can work it into the box. Maxima Steff will head it away, and it will come out to the Sunderland captain this evening. Try Hume. Hume will just play a simple pass into the Congolese international, Noah Siddiqui. Siddiqui will go out to the left side to Chemzadine Talabi. Kyle Walker is going to try and aim to see this ball out, of which he does. Good defending by him. So, Sunderland, they've got Robin Roofs in goal. It's a back four of Dan Ballard, Omar Alderete, Ronaldo Mandava and Nordi Mukiele. Noah Siddiqui and Habib Diarra are in the double pivot, whilst the captain Try Hume, Enzo Lefebvre and Chemzadine Talby are behind the lone striker Brian Broby. For Scott Parker's side, it's Martin Dubravka in goal. It's a back five of Axel Tuanzebe, Maxime Estev, Bashir Humphreys, Kyle Walker and Lucas Perez, whilst Leslie Ugachukwu and Florentino Luis are in the midfield, with Marcus Edwards and Jaden Anthony playing behind the lone striker Lyle Foster. That means on the bench for Regis Libris' side, the sub-goalkeeper is Simon Moore. He's alongside Jensen Jones, Dennis Shirkin, Luco Nyan, Luciano Geertrude, Chris Rigg, Romain Mundell, Wilson Isidore and Eliza Mayenda. As on the bench for Parker's side, the sub-goalkeeper is Max Weiss. He's alongside Joe Worrell, Hannibal Medjbury, James Ward-Prowse, Jakob Brun-Larsen, Josh Laurent, Laum Chowner, Zian Fleming and Armando Boria. The referee today is Paul Tierney, overseeing his 184th game. His last fixture in the Premier League came in a 1-1 draw between Brighton and Hove Albion and Bournemouth. Last time he officiated, Burnley was in their 2-0 loss against Liverpool a couple of seasons ago at Turf Moor. Burnley in possession of it here at the Stadium of Light. So Chukwu, he's able to find Marcus Edwards, but he takes a heavy touch, and Sunderland are going to come forward with it. Here is Siddiqui. So we're out to the right side. We'll aim to play it inside. It's still with Enzo Lefebvre. Enzo Lefebvre out to Siddiqui. Siddiqui with it on the right channel. Will come back in. Here's Chemzadine Talby. It goes all the way back to Omar Alderete. Alderete will just play it forward, but Florentino Luis gets across. As it's now Jaden Anthony. Jaden Anthony will come inside. It goes to Florentino Luis. Florentino Luis will move it out to the right side, finding Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker will get it on the right side. Now it's Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe will move it out to the left side, then it'll come back to Tuanzebe. And it's Anthony. Anthony to Kyle Walker out on the right side. It's Kyle Walker with it. And Florentino Luis will go out to the left side, finding Bashir Humphreys. Florentino Luis. Sunderland just happy to sit off at the moment. Burnley could just move it back to Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe out to Kyle Walker. He'll come all the way back to Axel Tuanzebe now. He'll move it into the midfield and they'll play a short ball forward. Now it's Jaden Anthony out to the left side for Marcus Edwards, who is able to get there. There is Marcus Edwards now who will deliver it in, but it comfortably goes into the hands of Robin Roofs. That is a comfortable collection for him, no concern at all. The greatest of deliveries in truth by Marcus Edwards. So Hume will come back inside to Noah Siddiqui. Noah Siddiqui who put to Omar Alderete. Now Ballard. Ballard to Habib Diarra. And then they will eventually lose it. And now there's an opportunity for Sunderland. And it's Brian Broby coming forward. And his effort is deflected into the back of the net. And it's Habib Diarra with the finish. And Habib Diarra scores his first ever Premier League goal here tonight. As he came forward with it. We haven't seen an opportunity within the first 9 minutes here. But the 22-year-old, the Senegalese international, just coming forward with it. It's a well-constructed goal, moving the ball really well. Habib Diarra stepped into the box, he checked back, and then his effort was deflected off the boot of Axel Tuanzebe. And it's Sunderland who take the lead. Martin Dubravka looked like he was just going to go down to his right side to make the save, but the deflection is sent it in the other direction. No chance for Dubravka, but it is the Black Cats who lead here at the Stadium of Light. 9 minutes on the clock. It's Sunderland 1, Burnley 0. And it's Habib Diarra with a first ever Sunderland goal. A man that signed this summer from Strasbourg in a £27.5 million deal. But Habib Diarra gives Sunderland the lead here. We're going to restart now here in the 10th minute. Scott Parker frustrated with the way that his side have conceded the goal because they've had the majority of the possession in the opening stages of this match. But now there's a long ball over the top towards Brian Broby. Broby's going to go chasing. He holds on to it. Maxime Esteve and Bashir Humphreys are trying to stay in close quarters with him. It'll come back to Nordi Mukiele. Mukiele back to Habib Diarra. Now it's Omar Alderete who's going to carry it forward for their team. Alderete will go all the way back. There's Dan Ballard. Ronaldo. Back to Alderete, and he'll go back to the goalkeeper, Robin Roofs, in his all orange goalkeeper kit. Now it's Robin Roofs on the ball. He will just play a short ball forward. Go all the way back to Robin Roofs. And now Sunderland can play it up towards the striker, Brian Broby. Broby tries to hold on to it. Ball is eventually going to be cleared. It goes in behind for Omar Alderete just to move it out to the left side. Now it's Ronaldo who will come forward with it. Now gives it to Chemsedine Talbi. Talbi into Ronaldo. His delivery into the box is headed away by Bashir Humphreys. Back out to Noah Siddiqui. He's been urged to shoot. Now Hume. And it's a free kick. Lucas Perez with the foul, and it will be an opportunity for Sunderland now. Just a foul on that far side, so it will be a free kick. Not just stepping back and enjoying the lead. Clearly are Sunderland. They're happy to press on, attack the opposition. So try Hume and Enzo Lefebvre. Once again, are the two players stood over it. It's going to be delivered in by Lefebvre. Steph gets his head on it. Doesn't go far though. It comes out to Omar Alderete. He'll lay off Noah Siddiqui for an effort, but that is a real wild effort at goal, as it was always going wide and over the bar. Certainly not a good piece of attacking there. It came out to Noah Siddiqui, maybe just showing that between him and his midfield partner, Habib Diarra. Diarra is the goal scorer and Siddiqui is the ball winner. Haven't seen too much of that. Ball goes up. How Foster will go chasing. Omar Alderete will hold on to it. There is Lefebvre. Out to Ronaldo, he'll go all the way back. And it's Omar Alderete, steps into the midfield. He'll send a left-footed clip ball over the top towards Brian Broby. Steph will get a head on it, doesn't get a good clearance on it. Broby tries to keep it alive, but Sunderland are able to eventually clear it away. But he can clear it away into the hands of Regis Lebris. Oh, it's Enzo Lefebvre. Enzo Lefebvre will go out to the right side. Now we'll come back to Ronaldo on the left full-back position. Oh, it's Omar Alderete just running into trouble. Ballard's going to run back to try and get on it. And there it goes out to Noah Siddiqui. Siddiqui will go inside. Enzo Lefebvre to Ballard. Ballard will stretch out to the right side. Now it's a throw for Sunderland out on that right side, right on the halfway line. Habib Diarra just launches it up. Kyle Walker just chests it down for Axel Tuanzebe to go back to the goalkeeper in all green, Martin Dubravka. It's Florentino Luis. He doesn't get the ball from Tuanzebe after a poor pass, but Sunderland are unable to take advantage. It fell to Habib Diarra, the goal scorer, on the edge of the box, but he was unable to get his shot off on that occasion. Now ball is with Florentino Luis. It's Florentino Luis who will go back to Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe will send a long ball forward. It will run through into the hands of the goalkeeper, Robin Roofs, who will just collect it. Now Roofs will just play it to the edge of the box with Habib Diarra. In terms of the passing style this season for Burnley, they have had the most percentage of passes that have gone long, the lowest amount of possession, the lowest amount of passing accuracy in the league. So it's a very direct and pretty turgid style of play from the Clarets, who will argue that they have to play that way to succeed in this league. So the ball is crossed in towards Shamsuddin Talbi, but Talbi hasn't got a clean connection on the ball, as it was just slotted in by Nordi Mukiele. It was attacked well at the far post by the former Club Brugge man, but Shamsuddin Talbi just sends it wide of the goal, and Burnley can take their goal kick. It will be played out short. It will now come to Dan Ballard. Ballard on it. Ballard will carry on coming forward. Send a long ball up towards Brian Broby. Just head on to it, but it's headed away and does come to a Sunderland player. Talby back to Enzo Lefebvre, and they're just looking to dictate play at the moment. We'll go back now. Here is Dan Ballard. Dan Ballard all the way back to Robin Roos. Ballard will receive it. And then he's unable to keep it in play, and he actually knocks another ball on the pitch. I'm not sure whether he meant to do that. There seemed to be a little bit of complacency from Dom Ballard. Regis Lebriz stands on the edge of his dugout, arms crossed. Ball is going to be delivered in. It's cross. Here is Tuanzebe. Now Walker. Tugachukwu will go up towards Lyle Foster. Foster's going to look to bring others into play. He'll come back to Tuanzebe. Now Florentino Luis. Luis will just turn back and come to the Ipswich Town defender. Of course, Tuanzebe and Noah Siddiqui are on opposite sides today. Both play their international football with each other, with the Democratic Republic of Congo. The ball goes up towards Brian Brobby. Brobby's too strong for Maxime Esteve. He is able to feed the goal scorer Habib Diarra. Then Sunderland will come back. Try Hume. Who is Mukiele. And we'll come all the way back to Habib Diarra now. Alderete down the line for Reinildo. Reinildo will control it, and Sunderland lose it, and it will be a throw for them as Kyle Walker just got a cross, and it was a good tackle that went in. Reinildo will pick up the ball. Back to Ballard. So Sunderland with it. It's Noah Siddiqui out to the right side to Nordi Mukiele. Now Enzo Lefebvre will carry it forward for Sunderland. Finds Brian Brobby. Brobby to Habib Diarra. And now it's a cross. It's Noah Siddiqui. Siddiqui to Dan Ballard. Ballard on the ball for Sunderland. They'll come all the way back. And now it's Omar Alderete. Sunderland patient. Burnley really looking to be proactive with their pressing. And one ball goes up. Omar Alderete will head it away. It's Florentino Luis. Florentino Luis will go across to Kyle Walker. And now it's Florentino Luis. Maxime Esteve. Esteve to out the left side. There is Bashir Humphreys. Humphreys finds Florentino Luis. Back to Maxime Esteve. Esteve will just send it to Axel Tuanzebe. Walker unable to hold on to it, and then Reinildo tries to come forward for Sunderland. Burnley can move it all the way back to Martin Dubravka though. Now Dubravka just with a short ball to Kyle Walker. Here's Florentino Luis. To the left side. And it's Bashir Humphreys. Humphreys to Lucas Perez. Now it's Sunderland's turn to not be so proactive with the press, and it's Burnley have got it in a defensive position. Limited pressure at the moment. Florentino Luis will force it forward. Here is Marcus Edwards. He is fouled. Nordi Mukiele just a little late with his tackle, bringing down Marcus Edwards. He tries to plead his innocence towards Paul Tierney, but it certainly is a foul. But, well, I've just seen it again, actually. He does get the ball first. Maybe it's a tough one for the referee to see, but I think he's got it wrong, actually. I take back what I originally said. I think Paul Tierney's got that one wrong, because he actually got to the ball first, and Nordi Mukiele, and had every right to. Felt that there was a little bit of an injustice. It will be a free kick now for Burnley. So Maximus Stev has made his way forward. Two arms will go up in the air of the Burnley free kick taker. It will be Lucas Perez, but he's actually just going to go back to Kyle Walker. Then he'll go back to Perez. And then a foul's been given. What was the foul? I'm not sure what that foul was. It was clearly something off the ball. Perez went back to Walker, then Walker passed it into Perez, and the ref gave a free kick, so maybe for something off the ball. They have brought in James Ward-Prowse. In terms of attacking set pieces this year, they rank pretty lowly. Now it's Omar Alderete. Alderete forward. Enzo Lefebvre. Go all the way back to Dan Ballard. Ballard across out to the right side. Mukiele will go chase. He's unable to keep it in play, and Lucas Perez will pick it up. He's going to throw it all the way back. And it's Habib Diarra. Burnley in possession of it. So 55% of the ball so far for Sunderland. 3 shots, 1 on target. Burnley yet to have a shot in the game. Certainly hasn't been the most exciting of encounters in the early stages here. Ugochuk lays it forward up towards Kyle Walker. Walker will switch it out to the left side. Perez will just head it down. It's Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe tries to just force it out to Kyle Walker on the right side, but he underhits it, and it's certainly not a good pass out, and it does go out for a Sunderland throw. Scott Parker will be frustrated with the way that his side have played at times. They've had absolutely no threat in this game, no danger for Sunderland to defend. Ball out to the right side now. It's Nordi Mukiele who will send it forward. It's a long ball up. And then come back to Ballard. Ballard back into Mukiele. He'll send the left-footed ball, which looks a little awkward. Enzo Lefebvre will send it out to the left side. Ronaldo will play it forward to Habib Diarra. Now Shamsuddin Talbi just tries to chop it back inside, but Kyle Walker is across to block it off. Ball just goes out of play, and it will be a throw for Sunderland, which a member of Scott Parker's backroom staff is going to go and collect it. So it's Shamsuddin Talbi with the throw. Oh, he's actually just going to leave it for Ronaldo to pick up, which he will. Ronaldo will go all the way back. to Ballard. Ballard will go back to the goalkeeper, Robin Roos. Roos will send it out to the right side. Goes all the way back to Ballard. Ballard to Renildo. There's Renildo on it. Back into Alderete. Alderete to Siddiqui. Siddiqui forward pass into Chemsedine Talby. Talby will come off the left flank. It's set up for Lefay. And Siddiqui out to Nordi Mukiele. Martina Louise flies in with a tough challenge, but Sunderland have got it on the edge of the box here. Still patient on it. It goes out to the right side now. It's Enzo Lefay. He'll go back inside. It's out to the right side now. Here on the right channel for Sunderland as Lucas Perez is across just to block it off, and it will go out for a throw. Perez will pick it up. Go back to Bashir Humphreys, and Bashir Humphreys will send the long ball forward. Now it's Renildo to Omar Alderete. Alderete will play back inside to Noah Siddiqui. Now Edwards. Play it up towards Jaden Anthony. There is Anthony carrying it forward for Burnley. Kyle Walker inside. It's a good tackle that goes in by Enzo Lefay. And then Renildo will go back to Robin Roofs. Will send a left-footed ball up. And it's Maxime Esteve who'll head it forward. Burnley still yet to have a shot in this game, half an hour into it. You can hear the Burnley supporters from the away end just surging their side on. Trying to encourage them to get going here. So it's Martin Dubravka. Sends it out to the left side. Now Florentino. Ball into Marcus Edwards. That's a good strong challenge from behind by Ballard. Here's Brian Broby, who's able to turn on the edge of the box. He finds Chemsedine Talby. Talby back to Enzo Lefay, who will shoot. But it just bounces into the hands of Martin Dubravka. And it is a comfortable one for the Slovakian to collect. But it's a second shot on target for Sunderland. But now there's an opportunity perhaps for Burnley to attack the Englishman. Jaden Anthony going down the right side. And Enzo Lefay, who in his endeavours to win the ball back, commits the foul on Jaden Anthony. It will be a free kick for them. Just broke kindly for Lefay. It was pulled back to him by Chemsedine Talby. He sent in his effort as it bounced into the hands of the goalkeeper, which the end was relatively comfortable for Martin Dubravka to collect. So Kyle Walker with the free kick goes inside to Lucas Perez, who's going to try and work a better angle. Tries to send it into Bashir Humphreys, but he'll go out for a goal kick. And you can hear boos from the visiting supporters who are not happy that every time they've had a free kick, they've gone short with it. Scott Parker will recognise that his team have simply not been good enough here. They have been really, really poor here, have Burnley. So it's Sunderland with it. They try to build it forward, but it's only played into Bashir Humphreys, but then he'll give it away now. Lefay who will receive it. He's going to clip it out to the right side towards Nordi Mukiele. Mukiele making his way down the right channel. Will pull it back for Brian Broby. 2 goals up to the good now are Sunderland. And it's Habib Diarra once again with his second goal off the game. Now he's got 2. He's had to wait almost 6 months for his first Sunderland goal. But now he has doubled his figure, and 32 minutes on the clock here. Sunderland lead by 2-0 against Burnley. It's a well-worked move down the right side with Nordi Mukiele. He pulled it back. Florentino Luis tried to slide in to block off that cut back by Mukiele, but it fell into the path of Habib Diarra. And in truth, the 37-year-old goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka, will be disappointed with his part to play in that goal. He should have done better. He gets two hands behind the ball, but he actually helps it into the back of the net. And Sunderland now lead 2-0 here at home against Burnley. And it's the 22-year-old Habib Diarra with the brace. And Dubravka responds with a visceral shake of his head. He certainly will not be happy with the way that his side conceded that goal. Poor play there in the end. So Burnley, who are yet to register a shot in this game, 34 minutes in the game, trying to send the long ball up, run through to Robin Roofs, and the Sunderland supporters respond to that affectionate noise of Roofs every time he does a positive thing, which he did there. So Mukiele will send a long ball up and it will go out of play for a Burnley throw. Lucas Perez will go back to Bashir Humphreys. Bashir Humphreys back to Maximus Steff. Steff will back to the goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. Dubravka will clip it forward. And then Alderete will head it to the Burnley midfield. Fortino Luis' header can only go out to the right side to Mukiele. He's tackled by the Brazilian Lucas Perez. So it will be a throw for Sunderland out on that far side. We'll go down the line now. Bashir Humphreys is going to hook it away. Sunderland with it. Lyle Foster wins it, and Lyle Foster will now come forward for the Clarets in their sky blue kit. It's DJ Denante on the left flank. His delivery is blocked off by Dan Ballard, and then between Ronaldo and Alderete they're able to clear it away. Now it's Chemsedine Talby, but he takes a heavy touch. There's still a Sunderland player down. They're playing with 10 men. They're asking the Burnley players to knock it out, but they've got no reason to. Kyle Walker will cross it in. It's headed away by Ballard. Sunderland supporters are asking the referee to stop the game. Play carries on. Delivery goes in by Anthony. Alderete will block it off and it will go out for a corner. And the Sunderland fans are frustrated, but Sunderland were on the attack and they didn't put the ball out. So why would Burnley do it? It's Nordi Mukiele, who just saw his knee being clattered in a challenge with Lyle Foster. It probably was a foul, in truth. Walker just running in to him. The referee allowed play to go on. For me, I didn't see too much wrong with that. So the medical staff are on now just to have a look at the injury. I'll be hoping that he is okay to continue. Not sure whether this may actually be counted as an own goal. Habib Diarra's first goal. I don't know whether it was just drifting wide of that far right hand post and it took a nick off to Anzabi and ended up in the back of the net, and I would be interested to see it again as to whether this should be counted as an own goal or not. Mukiele's back up onto his feet. He's complaining to Paul Tierney. He's telling me I don't think it was a foul, so no point if you complaining. It's fair enough from him. So I wonder whether it will go down as an Axel Tuanzebe own goal. Habib Diarra may have seen his opening goal for Sunderland tonight. by the lawmakers, but he certainly scored the second goal, and that won't go down as an own goal. So, interesting to see whether he'll come away with a brace or not. But there's a corner opportunity here for the Clarets. It's going to be a cross coming in from the left side. It's a Burnley corner inside, and it'll be headed away. Goes out to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker back out to Jaden Anthony, and he's come from an offside position. And that just sums up the frustration from Scott Parker's team. They have not been good enough in this Premier League game so far. Sunderland have comfortably been the better of the two teams, and Robin Roos will just throw the ball out to that far side to take the free kick here. Flash score, we will be bringing you the semi-finals of the EFL Cup action. Arsenal hosting Chelsea. They come into the game 3-2 up after the first leg, whilst Manchester City host Newcastle United. They are 2-0 up. It's of course today between Sunderland and Burnley. It's a Premier League match. It's the last of game week 24. And this result, as it stands, would send Sunderland into 8th place. It would put them just 4 points short of the top 5, which we expect to be enough for a Champions League place this year. They've had 53% of the ball, 5 shots with 3 on target. Keep saying Burnley yet to register a shot. So ball goes up towards Broby. He's unable to hold on to it. Burnley will throw it inside to Leslie Ugachukwu. Now it's Maximus Stev on the ball in a defensive position for the Clarets. Here's Ugachukwu on it. We'll go out to Bashir Humphreys. Bashir Humphreys will carry it forward. And now it's down the left side, and it will go out for a throw, so Burnley will take it. It's Burnley back for Bashir Humphreys. Bashir Humphreys all the way back to Martin Dubravka. Dubravka will launch it up, and then Kyle Walker will go out to the left side, finding Humphreys. Bashir Humphreys just coming to the halfway line, plays it inside to Kyle Walker. He's in a midfield position now. Now Florentino Luis. Lack of urgency about Burnley at the moment. Lucas Perez on the left side, back inside to Florentino. Way through for Burnley so far. Here is Bashir Humphreys. To the left side now with Jaden Anthony. He's going to whip a ball in, headed away by Ballard. Now Siddiqui can go out to Ronaldo. He's got plenty of space to drive into. And Talby goes back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo will switch out to the captain, Tri Hume. Now Siddiqui. Here's Omar Alderete. Alderete loses it, and now there's Marcus Edwards trying to drive forward, but it's like a tackle that goes in eventually by Alderete. Florentino Luis is saying I was fouled. Paul Tierney says no, it's just a natural collision. The ball will go back to Robin Roofs. Goes out for a throw. So Kyle Walker goes all the way back to Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe will launch it back. Now it's Marcus Edwards on the ball. And he's brought down, so his free kick can just go back to Axel Tuanzebe. Now Marcus Edwards carrying it forward, and looks like he's wearing a a brown shirt now compared to a sky blue one because of the amount of mud that he's now got on his shirt, of the amount of times he's fallen down to the ground. There is Bashir Humphreys on the ball. Lucas Perez on that left flank. It's Leslie Ugachukwu to Anzabi, to Kyle Walker. Walker inside to Marcus Edwards now. Burnley with it on the edge of the box. Valentino Luiz is tackled though by Enzo Lefebvre. Went in for a good strong challenge. Now it's Sunderland coming down the left flank. Leslie Ugachukwu will just step in and we'll go back to Bashir Humphreys. Now it's Hume winning it back. Hume will carry it forward. He loses it and now it's back with Burnley. It's going to go out to the left side now with Lucas Perez, the Brazilian, who's found his spot in the team after Hartman has mysteriously been left out to the last few matchday squads. Now it's out to Marcus Edwards on this right side. Now it's Edwards to Lucas Perez, to Ugachukwu. Ugachukwu will give it to Humphreys. Ugachukwu back to out to the left side. Marcus Edwards receiving it. We'll try and force a ball forward, but a run through to the goalkeeper in all orange, Robin Roos, who can just take his time in picking the ball up. That'll be comfortable for him. Burnley have just not laid a glove on Sunderland here. So now Sunderland going to carry it forward with Brian Brobby, and he's caught by Leslie Ugachukwu, and it will be the first yellow card of the game. Ugachukwu just grabbing hold of Brian Brobby and committing the foul. And he can't really have any complaints. The man that signed this summer from Chelsea in a 25 million deal, he actually picks up his first yellow card of the season, which is quite a surprise for a central midfielder. First yellow card to have gone that long without being booked. We've got at least 4 minutes left to play here. 4 additional minutes just being put up by the fourth official. So Hume with the whip in. It is, falls back to the back post, and Martin Dubravka is able to collect it. A few Sunderland players are asking for, I think, what is a handball shout. Dubravka quickly rolls it out to Kyle Walker, who'll come forward with it. He'll go inside to Ugachukwu, and now it's Maxime Esteve who can go out to the left side with Lucas Perez. Now Marcus Edwards. Here's Bashir Humphreys inside to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker on the ball for Burnley. Plays it up towards Edwards. He's knocked off by Nordi Mukiele. Mukiele with a challenge from behind. Edwards goes down to the ground, and now there's an opportunity for Sunderland to break forward. Here is Habib Diarra, the man that scored a brace in this game. Turns back as he's being challenged. And now Diarra finds Brian Brobby. Now Talby. Talby will go back to Dan Ballard. Ballard into Noah Siddiqui. Here is Ronaldo. Ronaldo will carry it forward. Siddiqui. Siddiqui to Ballard, across to Omar Alderete. Now Hume. Inside to Habib Diarra. He'll come out to Talabi. Talabi will come forward. It's Ronaldo. Ronaldo inside to Noah Siddiqui. Here's Dan Ballard, but is it to Hume, the captain? Try Hume, the Northern Irish international. We'll go all the way back to Robin Roos. Robin Roos will give it to Ballard. Ballard to Enzo Lefay. Enzo Lefay to Brobby. Now Ugachukwu. Ugachukwu will move it out to the left side. Here is Jaden Anthony. Anthony is able to move it out to Lucas Perez. He fires in a cross, but it goes into the side net. And Burnley have had no threat at all. I'm told they've had a shot. Apparently Florentino Luis had a shot. I'm not sure how that counts as a shot. It was from about 35 yards out and it was blocked off. I thought it was more of a cross, but has gone down as a shot, and apparently so has the one that Florentino Luis just had. I thought that was more of a cross, but the stats have said that it's a shot. I'm not sure it is. Can bring the confirmation that it's gone down as an Axel Tuanzebe own goal, the opener. So Habib Diarra definitely got the second, but apparently not the first. So we're at half time here. Sunderland comfortably in charge of this game at half time. It's
I know several top European clubs as well, and at the moment the most likely destination seems to be a move to one of those European leagues, to one of the top three teams, I'm told, in one of those said leagues. So certainly one to keep an eye on. I know Napoli and Antonio Conte have held talks. Bayer Leverkusen, potentially Bayern Munich were very keen in the summer transfer window. So I don't think he's going to be short of options, Raheem Sterling. But it needs to work, doesn't it? Because not only did it end very badly at Chelsea, he might say for reasons beyond his control, but he went on loan at Arsenal, and that wasn't very successful either, was it?
Yeah, but he never got minutes. I mean, it's easy to criticise, but if you don't get game time, you can't come on for 10, 20 minutes here and get thrown in a cup game where there's 8 changes and start.
Yeah.
Forward players need rhythm. He's fit as a fiddle. He's experienced. He'll score goals. You just got to put your arm around him, get him in a team and get him playing. Now, okay, arguments around his attitude because he could have left Chelsea on numerous occasions and taken less money, whatever.
It wasn't just about the money. From
no,
it was about not wanting to uproot the family for a short-term loan.
I was just going to say the same. People don't factor in the external circumstances. Raheem Sterling is a proven quality Premier League footballer. And now he's a free agent.
Still, Danny.
Well, we haven't seen him.
31,
we haven't seen him for a while, but I don't think he's one of these players. Sometimes players struggle for a long period if they don't play, getting back into the sharpness and the rhythm of it, yeah? With him, he's always been so agile and fit and speedy. I don't think fitness ain't going to be his problem.
Right.
It's just going to be gaining some rhythm momentum.
Danny, let's return to this in a second, because a lot of people have their views on the Raheem Sterling situation, not least Simon, as he had with me.
Yeah, we had it out with him.
We had it out with them, not least Jimmy Carragher. We'll get to that. Let's get to the North East. It's half-time. Sunderland, Burnley. Graham.
Yeah, Sunderland 2, Burnley 0. Both goals coming from Habib Diarra. First one after 9 minutes. Brian Brobby is dodged around his marker, squared to Diarra, cut inside, seemed to stumble a bit, but regained his composure and fired it in. And then just around about 20 minutes later, really bit of a solo effort from Diarra. He's forced his way at the edge of the area of the Burnley 6-yard box. He's placed the ball in the bottom corner. Nothing that Dubravka, ex-Newcastle, of course, could do about it. Burnley haven't had a shot on target. Would help if they actually ploughed forward a little bit more. Half-time here. There will be second half commentary coming up on TalkSport 2, but here at the Stadium of Light, it is Sunderland 2, Burnley 0.
Graham, thank you very much indeed. On Raheem Sterling, why has it gone wrong, and what is next, if anything is next, for Raheem Sterling? This was Simon Jordan on him.
He got bombed at City, he's been bombed at Chelsea, he's got bombed at Arsenal. What's the common denominator? Raheem Sterling. Why would Crystal Palace want to sign a player that doesn't want to lift a leg, would rather sit there? I guarantee you wouldn't be so concerned about playing in London or living in London or working in London if someone came and offered him £500 a week.
I mean, do you think that was harsh, Danny? Jimmy Carragher in the Telegraph on Raheem. By any measure, he's one of the best English players of his generation. When discussing his career, the focus should be on the thrill of his initial impact as a prodigy before maturing to fulfil his talent under Pep at Manchester City. But is that about it? Since City?
Well, you say that's about it. He was at City a long time and won a lot of trophies. And also...
but what about the last couple of years, Danny?
But also, let's just not forget what he did for England and was so consistent for them for a long period. Now, at Chelsea...
But Danny, you had longevity. You knew what it took to be at the top in the game for a considerable number of years. To your credit...
But I didn't start as early as him. So if you look at the years he was at the top, there was not every, 90% of players who have longevity in the Premier League have a bad spell. I had a couple of years where I didn't play as much, and okay, things gone on off the pitch, but I look back and those 2 years were a wasted 2 years, 2 seasons for me. He started so young playing Premier League football that actually the fall off at Chelsea when he was 28, he'd been at it for 10 years plus. So he had longevity and he'd had success and goals and, his numbers are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now at Chelsea, he didn't hit the ground running, but he wasn't binned by City because they bought him when he was still contributing.
Sure.
And they paid good money for him and gave him the salary relevant to his worth at the time. Sometimes, irrelevant of who you are and what you've done, a manager will come in and not fancy you.
Yeah.
And
was it the manager though?
I don't know, but it felt like it felt for me a little bit like Maresca was making an example of a couple and showing his strength.
Or was he being told to do that?
Maybe, but one or two got pushed. Bam, you're done. Now, what happened after that, the Arsenal one, I don't think was a great choice because really, when he looked at it, he should have realised he wasn't going to play that often.
Yeah.
He should have went somewhere where he could be the big fish, play every week, be relied on, be looked up to and be loved a bit more. And then he might be in a bit of a different place now. Now, Simon's point is right in that, if someone in Spain or Saudi or whatever offered him $500,000 a week, he'd go. No, because
he could have gone to Saudi. He didn't want to go.
We don't know that, do we?
I do know that. He didn't want to go to Saudi.
Right, okay.
So that sort of flies in the face of Simon's
Has he fulfilled his career?
He won 13 trophies.
I think if he finished tomorrow, he could sleep at night, yeah. Now, at 31 and being as fit as him, I would be amazed if he didn't still have ambition of doing something really positive.
I think he thinks he can still play for England.
I don't think under this manager right now, but potentially. The reality is, for him now, it's the biggest, most important decision of his career because he has to balance now the financial, which I don't think he needs any more money. But there is a balance between every player will have it, doesn't matter how much money they've got. The balance between the financial package and the football challenge. He now needs good people around him and needs to be strong enough to go, okay,